Good morning, YouTube pipe community. Been about 3 days trying to make this video. For some reason, this video I keep getting interrupted. Hopefully I can get through it this time. Smoking my new favorite pipe, olive wood pipe from none other than the Olive Wood Piper. Thank you, Carl. Enjoying it. So, back to some filter talk. Everyone knows by now I'm a fan of Dr. Pearl Jr.'s. By the way, there's two different ones. I've mentioned this. There's the red writing, and if you buy the filters that come in the little boxes, I think there's some old stock around. They have brown writing. They don't smoke, in my opinion, as good as the red writing ones. The size of the carbon inside is different. I think that's the early version, and the later version is the red writing. I can't prove that, but from what I see, I think that's the situation. But anyway, so it's come to light that the reason these smoke, or why I like them better, I assume, is because the drawer doesn't feel restricted like it does with a Peterson or a BC filter, which I think are the same filters, BC and Peterson, or the Meerschaum ones even. They seem to be restricted. So another YouTuber brought out that the diameter of the Dr. Pearl filter is slightly smaller, so air escapes around it, and that's why the drawer is better. And I've proved that, and it's absolutely right. But it depends on why you're using a filter. I use it strictly for moisture control. I'm not looking to clean up the smoke, remove any of the harsh chemicals which a filter claims to do. If you're smoking it for that reason only, then I assume you would want a tighter fit filter, because that's more important to you to purify some of the smoke you're getting. But for me, it's strictly moisture control. Now, having said that, it's a controversy that I'm never going to solve, and probably no one in the world will, because it's an opinion. Smoking filtered pipe versus non-filtered pipe. For my palate, I see no difference in tobacco taste between smoking a non-filtered pipe versus a filter pipe. Now, the interesting thing that's, to me, shocking is some pipes, I'll give you an example, some Boswells, which I've been on the Boswell kick for a while. You take a pipe like this, I don't have a moisture problem with this pipe. It's not filtered. This has a tapered, a weird type of bowl. It's like a V shape as opposed to just a cylinder that rounds at the bottom. And these don't gurgle, and I don't get the liquid where other pipes I do without a filter. So now, having said that, I'm going to compare smoking a pipe to our taste buds, which is there's a connection there. And I'll give you an example. I worked with the West Indian people for a while in a transmission shop years ago, and they eat some spicy food. As a matter of fact, their food is so spicy, if they sit across from you, your eyes will almost water, because they like a lot of hot pepper. And I tasted some of it and my mouth was like on fire. I couldn't cool it quick enough. I wanted to jump in a pond. I mean, that's how hot it was. To them, it's nothing. So, and you see many people that as soon as you put just even in some cases, I have my mother-in-law, for instance, you put too much black pepper and she can't eat it because her mouth's on fire. So everybody's different, but I think, and again, comparing this to food, you can adjust yourself to anything over time. And the best example I can give of that, when I switched to Diet Coke many years ago, or Diet Pepsi, the first sip was like drinking poison. I mean, I drank it and I said, how the hell do people drink this crap? I mean, it tasted medicinal. It was just god awful. But I stuck with it for health reasons, and we can get into if it's really more healthy for you with all the chemicals in it, but at least you're not getting the sugar. So now fast forward 15, 20 years, I only drink diet soda. Once in a while, I'll go, and Diet Pepsi is my favorite. I'll pull a Diet Pepsi, and accidentally it'll be a regular Pepsi. Still not knowingly, I crack up the thing, I take a sip of it, and I just about spit it out, because now I can't take the sugar. To me now, the regular Pepsi is like drinking poison. And I prefer, so I've changed my taste to learn to like and accept the Diet Pepsi. Which leads us to the tobacco phenomenon, which I'll call it, because I've been smoking Captain Black Royal for about a month straight, and the same thing. You get accustomed to a pipe tobacco, and this is what I think the codgers had over us, is that's their tobacco, period. If they put something else in their pipe, it would be like me sipping a regular Pepsi with sugar now. They'd probably throw away the pipe and the tobacco and say, where the hell, give me my old tobacco back. Because they're comfortable, their palate has learned to accept and adjust to the tobacco they smoked. I think that's true with anything. And I think even if you, like I prefer filtered pipes, if I could no longer get filters, eventually I would learn to accept and smoke non-filtered pipes and like it. And another example to stress that point is I tried Haunted Bookshop. Now we all know Matches 860 loves Haunted Bookshop. When I smoke that, that's a good smoke if you want to chill out after, because it gives you a buzz. I mean, that's strong tobacco to me. He smokes it like it's M&M's. I mean, it's nothing to him. But he's so used to it. And my background, I was never a cigarette smoker, so thankfully so, I never liked it. I tried it when I was young, and fortunately, I guess, my friends didn't smoke, so I never wanted to give it a chance. I felt subconscious being my friends didn't smoke. Plus, I just didn't enjoy it. I never saw the value in it or the taste or anything. Which, fast forward, I'm glad that happened, because, as we know, cigarette smoking is a bad habit that's really not good for you. Not to get into that whole tobacco debate, but cigarette smoking is not as good as pipe or cigar smoking, in my opinion. But that's for another day. So the bottom line is, you can learn to like almost anything. You know that a lot of chefs use that phrase, if you eat something different, it's an acquired taste. And I think that's what pipe smoking is. If you try a new tobacco, in my view, you may hit on a tobacco that, oh man, that smoke was pretty good. But to really know that tobacco, it's going to take you probably at least that whole tin or pouch or whatever you bought, 2 ounces, before you really know that tobacco well enough to pass judgment on it. And that's one of the reasons I don't do tobacco reviews. I mean, I'll say what I'm smoking if I like it or not, but I won't go into the nuances, because I don't think my palate is fine-tuned enough to pick out certain flavors that I hear other pipers do. Like Simon's an excellent tobacco reviewer, in my opinion. But I don't taste what he tastes in that tobacco. First of all, I have a problem. I can't seem to retrohale. I must have some kind of nasal, which I know I have a nasal problem, but I tried all the techniques. I watch videos. It just doesn't work for me. My nasal passages must be screwed. I live in the Hudson Valley, and it's known that if you live here long enough, you develop a nasal problem, and it's so true. They say because being in a valley, everything settles down, and It's if you never had allergies and stuff like that, you'll get them if you live here long enough, and that's so true. Almost everybody in this Hudson Valley area suffers from some kind of nasal problem. So I don't know if that contributes to why. Plus, I breathe through my mouth a lot versus my nose, which has always been a problem. I was told by dentists and things like that. So the retrohale, which I get upset about because I'm missing out on so much, I think. But probably a good reason why certain tobaccos don't appeal to me, because I can't get that experience that others get. But that's my point. I think you can adjust over time. You can learn to like anything. I mean, like other cultures, they eat bugs and stuff, and you look at that, you say, ugh, that's disgusting. But, you know, in those poorer countries, there's no choice, and they eat stuff like that, and they learn to like it out of necessity. But the bottom line, I think, given a chance, you can learn to like anything. Filtered pipes, non-filtered pipes, whatever the case may be. I think even if you had some tobacco that you couldn't stand, but if that was the only tobacco, you'd learn to like it, or learn to figure some way of liking it. And that's the point. I'm really interested to hear your opinion on it, but and it really is opinion. There's no absolute here. There's no, until some kind of taste machine comes out that you can smoke, and the machine can inhale that smoke and pick out all the flavors accurately. I mean, Sergeant Savinelli, he had that blue tobacco. I have it. I bought it based on the Blue Collar Piper. This tobacco, he tastes anisette. I don't taste the anisette. I'm not saying he doesn't taste it, but my taste buds, I cannot taste the anisette in this product. But what I'm going to do soon, I'm going to give this 3 weeks and see if over that period I can pick out those flavors. But initially, he picked it up right away. I don't. I do smell it. When I smell it, I get a hint of it, but I don't taste that. This is a really nice looking tobacco. Smells really good too. But like the Captain Black Royal, I mean, that's my go-to tobacco. If I had to have one tobacco right now, I think I'd pick that one because it's consistent, and I've been smoking for a month straight, and it becomes almost like your morning coffee. You're looking for that tobacco. So anyway, I guess it's a compelling subject, and we can talk about it probably till the cows come home, and there's no one answer. But anyway, guys, hope you have a good Sunday. The weather's kind of nice in the east. I pray for everybody that's in that storm area. That's a terrible disaster. There's no fun in any of that. It's a terrible thing. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Carl, for this beautiful pipe. I really love it. And thank you, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.